Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, bring you a special presentation, and reveal the books I bought this week. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching the Comic Hero Show. Now kick that logo! I'm your host, Victor Dudley, and I am a Comic Hero. Well, as they say, folks, all good things must come to an end. And I'm talking about the end of the Mardi Gras season. Now, as you're watching this, it is early Fat Tuesday. I'm talking about a few minutes past midnight. And so if you're heading down to New Orleans to go to that last Mardi Gras parade or anywhere else in the country, be careful and have fun. And I just want to go ahead and say this. There were some people who were either killed or injured in Mardi Gras parades, and my heart goes out to not just the family of those victims, but also the cities that these all took place. It's a sad situation when something like this happens, and I'm going to try to do all I can right now to lift up everyone's spirits. And this is Mardi Gras / Ash Wednesday Comic Hero tee. Now the reason that is because, well, it's on an Ash shirt, and then you have the Mardi Gras colors and all that, and then and of course the three colors that Mardi Gras represent: justice, faith, justice, and power. And y'all watching this, I hope that I just hope y'all had a great Mardi Gras season. I know it's been kind of rough with all these. With all these unfortunate events happening, but adversity is temporary, and the city of New Orleans and anywhere else these incidents have happened, y'all will shake back. And not only that, it's also the last episode of the show in the 200s before the 300th episode, which is next week. And I want to thank everyone who voted for the choices between the shirts and the 300 number variations. I'm going to make the shirt in the coming days, and I have a very special announcement regarding that shirt. But for right now, speaking of shirts, it's time to give away a free t-shirt. Alright, on last week's episode, I asked true or false. Flight has always been one of Superman's powers. Well, the correct answer is false. Flight didn't become one of his powers until 1941, which was 3 years after he made his debut in Action Comics #1. Well, the correct answer is false, and 20 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, today's winner is drawing for a free tee, and that drawing takes place right now. So, the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is Chad Blackwolf from Shreveport, Louisiana. So congratulations, Chad. We just have a free Comic Hero tee. Alright, here's the question for next week's episode, and this is a Deadpool question. True or false? Because of similarities to Deathstroke, the creators of Deadpool named him Wade Wilson. Everyone who answers correctly will enter the drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. Alright, now Brad Bertuzzi from Warren, Ohio has requested a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight. And this one features an animal-like character in the comics going up against an animal-like character in the video games. Resident Marvel, we have Sabretooth. And Resident Killer Instinct, we have Saberwolf. These two are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call
the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's Sabretooth versus Saberwolf. Sabretooth possesses superhuman strength, stamina, speed, durability, reflexes, agility, senses, and animal-like attributes, sonic scream, growling and roaring, extended longevity via regenerative healing factor, slowed aging, resistance to diseases, viruses, poisons, and illnesses, and retractable claws and sharp teeth. Saberwolf is a werewolf who possesses superhuman strength, speed and durability, razor-sharp claws, and teeth. Who would win? This fight would make a cat fight look like a series of love taps. These two would bite and claw at each other for minutes on end. Sabretooth would then gain the advantage with his sonic scream. This stuns, but angers Saberwolf. The latter would then resort to doing something he promised himself he wouldn't do out of concern of losing control. He goes full-on berserk. He then punches, kicks, claws, and bites Sabretooth, going untouched in the process. He then delivers a roundhouse kick to Sabretooth's temple. Saberwolf wins. But wait! This proves to be unsuccessful due to Sabretooth's healing factor. As the latter heals from his injuries, Saberwolf suddenly transforms back to his human form. Sabretooth then gets back to a vertical base, grabs Saberwolf, and guts him like a fish. Sabretooth wins, and that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Thank you, Brad Bertuzzi. I hope you all enjoyed that fight. I'll have another one for next week. Now, usually the next segment I do on the show is Comically Speaking, but because it's February and it's Black History Month, I wanted to do something a little different. I could, and I was trying to think long and hard about what I could do for Black History, and I decided, to look no further than the two men who are responsible for so many black men and women being in comics today, and I'm talking about Dwayne McDuffie and Dennis Cowan. So here's a very quick overview on Dwayne McDuffie and Dennis Cowan that I did. Check it out. Dwayne McDuffie was an American writer of comic books and television, known for creating the animated series Static Shock, writing and producing the animated series Justice League Unlimited and Ben 10, and co-founding the pioneer minority-owned and operated comic book company Milestone Media. Going on staff at Marvel as Bob Budiansky's assistant on special projects, McDuffie helped develop the company's first superhero trading cards. He also scripted stories for Marvel. His first major work was Damage Control, a miniseries about the company that shows up between issues and tidies up the mess left by the latest round of superhero supervillain battles. After becoming an editor at Marvel, McDuffie submitted a spoof proposal for a comic entitled Teenage Negro Ninja Thrashers in response to Marvel's treatment of black characters. Becoming a freelancer in 1990, McDuffie wrote dozens of various comics for Marvel, DC, and Archie Comics. In the early 1990s, wanting to express a multicultural sensibility that he felt was missing in comic books, McDuffie and three partners founded Milestone Media. The Plain Dealer of Cleveland, Ohio, described in 2000 as the industry's most successful minority-owned and operated comic company. McDuffie explained, and I quote, "If you do a black character or a female character or an Asian character, then they aren't just characters. They represent that race or that sex, and it can't be interesting because everything they do has to represent an entire block of people. Superman isn't all white people, and neither is Lex Luthor. We knew we had to present a range of characters within each ethnic group, which means that we couldn't just do one book. We had to do a series of books, and we had to present a view of the world that's wider than the world we've ever seen before." End quote. Milestone, whose characters include the African-American Static, Icon, and Hardware, the Asian-American Zombie, and the multi-ethnic superhero group called the Blood Syndicate, which include black, Asian, and Latino men and women, debuted its titles in 1993 through a distribution deal with DC Comics. Serving as editor-in-chief, McDuffie created or co-created many characters, including Static. He would later go on to create the Static Shock animated series. Sadly, in 2011, at the age of 49, McDuffie died from complications from emergency heart surgery. Dennis Cowan is a comics artist and an animation producer for Queens, New York. Some of his early work included being a regular artist on books like Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man, Superman, The Flash, and Detective Comics, but gained prominence as the primary artist on The Question, a comic book series written by Dennis O'Neil and published by DC beginning in February of 1987. While at Marvel, he served as penciler on the latter half of the Deathstroke miniseries, which was written by Dwayne McDuffie and Gregory Wright, as well as on the subsequent regular title of the same name. He and McDuffie and two others would go on to co-found Milestone Media. In addition to being a comics artist, Cowan has served as a producer on the Static Shock animated series and senior vice president of animation at BET. These two men paved the way for other writers and artists in the black community to take on comics. Without them, the comics community wouldn't be as diverse and open as it is now. All right, I hope you all enjoyed that, and you know what? These two men really, I mean, just like I said at the very end, if it weren't for them, then, you know, the comics wouldn't be as diverse as they are now, and not a lot of black people would be interested in writing and drawing comics. And, you know, they like I said, they paved the way for so many men and women, and look where we are now. I mean, comics are, you have men and women, boys and girls everywhere reading comics now. And it's such a beautiful thing. Alright, I hope you all enjoyed that. But let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
Alright, first up is Aquaman number 57. Batman number 89. Captain America number 19. Captain Marvel number 15. Deadpool number 3. Fantastic Four number 19. Flash Forward number 6. Ghost Spider number 7. Guardians of the Galaxy number 2. Justice League number 41. Legion of Superheroes number 4. Marauders number 8. New Mutants number 7. Teen Titans number 39. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 103. Valkyrie Jane Foster number 8. And finally, Wonder Twins number 12. Alright, that's 17, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 9,889. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. True or false? Because of similarities to Deathstroke, the creators of Deadpool named him Wade Wilson. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Chad Blackwell from Shreveport, Louisiana, who won a free tee on this week's episode. Oh boy, you know, I really enjoyed doing Mardi Gras and informing folks who didn't know anything about Mardi Gras about this annual holiday and this annual Carnival Fest, or string of carnivals and parades that we have here in the States and in other parts of the world. And I'm very humbled, about doing the 300th episode next week. I mean, this is such an achievement for me. I mean, I've been doing this show for over 6 years, and I always knew I would get to this point, but I just didn't, know what direction the show would be in when I got here. And I can thankfully say that that the show that I'm doing it, within the comfort of my own home, and I have the fan base that I do. And then the show has gone to even greater heights than where it started before. And I mean, I'm just humbled, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the fact that I get to do this every week, to share not just my love of comics, but of everything, to everything else. And that's going to continue to be my aim until I am physically unable to do the show. And I hope, honestly, that I get to do this for a very long time. Now, here's a special announcement that I had regarding the shirt for the 300th episode. I did say that I'm going to start making it this week, and I will. But here's the thing, and I'm going to try to find a way to for folks watching this directly from YouTube to do this. I'm going to do something a little different. Once I'm done making the shirt, I'm going to post it on social media. And everyone who has liked the shirt, if you like the shirt, then your name gets entered in a drawing for a shirt just like that one. And I'm going to try to do something here on YouTube where folks that watch directly from that could be able to take part of this, because really this is something that I really don't want to leave anyone out on. And it's all about, I'm a giving person. I give more than I take, and this is my way of giving to other people. But wow, 300 episodes. I mean, I'm humbled, but it's just still amazing. And this is the last episode of the 200s, and there have been a lot of peaks and valleys, but I can thankfully say that that the peaks definitely outweigh the valleys. And that's the way we should all live our lives. Even in the midst of adversity, we shouldn't let the valleys outweigh the peaks. The peaks should always outweigh the valleys. I mean, because it's not so much that we go through valleys, or we have wilderness moments, or we have bad breaks. It's how we respond to them. And if you decide to respond to them in a positive manner, then your valleys will definitely become peaks. All right, I'm Victor Dudley, I'm the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for the 300th episode. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero, and laissez les bon temps rouler. Aye!